Can we have some music, Shiksha? Aram music.
Sorry?
Can we have Aram music, the music that you always play?
अच्छा वो वाला हाँ 1 minute रुक जा यार मैं I'm just setting up background things ठीक है
Who's doing the prayer?
1 second let me pull the Excel.
Good morning, children.
Good morning.
Can we all see you, please? Could you all please have your video on? Because we have so many new children joining. It would be nice if we could see your faces, and then we can remember your name.
I can't put my video on because my camera doesn't work.
Okay, no problem. But others, can everyone else please put your video on? Just so we know who is who, you know.
Is Naman should be doing that.
Okay.
Naman should be doing the prayer.
Good morning, Aura. Good morning, Dhruv and Khushi.
I am going to say Gyanshala Pratigya.
Okay.
You would do the Gyanshala Pratigya. Okay, whatever. I mean, like you will start. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We wait a few more seconds. I'm still hoping for others. Sachi, Kshitij, Ishika, Sneha. Please keep your video on if possible. Arit and Ashi. Can you please put your video on? Arit and Ashi, can you please put your video on? Good morning, Pragya. Ishika. No problem, Arit and Ashi.
Rashmi, you can start with the session and call Naman to do the initial prayer.
What's the full name? Naman?
Rampuria.
Rampuria. Okay. So good morning, everyone. Jai Jinendra. Welcome to our Gyanshala session. And today I would like to ask Naman to first say the prayer, and then we'll begin our session. Yeah.
मैं ज्ञानशाला का विद्यार्थी हूँ। मुझे ज्ञानशाला में भाग लेने का गौरव है। मैं ज्ञानशाला के गौरव वृद्धि में सदैव जागरूक रहूंगा। मैं अनुशासन का पालन करूंगा। मैं एवं सत्यनिष्ठ एवं स्वयंनिष्ठ बनने के लिए प्रयत्नशील रहूंगा। मैं व्यसन मुक्त जीवन जीऊंगा। मैं साधु और साध्वी के प्रति विनम्र रहूंगा। मैं अपने माता पिता और अभिभावकों का आदर करूंगा। जय जय ज्योति चरण, जय जय महाश्रमण।
Very good. Naman, Jai Jai. And that Pratigya. Can you explain 1-2 lines in English for those who can't follow Hindi? Out of those lines that you said, can you say 1-2 lines in English, what it meant?
So basically, I am a student of Gyanshala.
Okay, and one or two pratigya, simple ones that you can translate.
Respect others.
Respect others.
Sorry, respect elders.
Elders. And the others, there was another one. What else was there?
I won't do any bad habits.
Okay, no bad habits. That's great. Thank you. Big Omaram to you, Naman. Thank you. And who wants to say the prayer next week? Anyone? You can call out your name. Aura, would you like to say the prayer next week?
Rashmi, we are maintaining the rooster, so we'll do it. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Okay. So I'm going to begin my session. I'm going to start sharing my screen.
Rashmi, I'm so sorry. Ishika, beta, are you from Gyan group or you want to join Darshan group today?
Ishika.
If I remember, Ishika is the younger Ishika, so I just wanted to check whether she's in the right group.
Okay, yeah, I did call her out her name, but I didn't get it.
Okay, she's 14 years old. Okay, sorry, Ishika, sorry, Bacha, sorry. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so let's begin our session. So today we are not going to do any topics on Jain concepts, but we are going to talk about a person, and that person is Acharya Hemchandra Suri. Now, who can tell me who is an Acharya? When you hear the word Acharya. So quite a few of you may be knowing that our current Acharya, who is the head of the Terapan Jain organization, he is Acharya Mahashramanji. How many of you have heard about him? Give me a wave. You've heard about him? So can someone say who is an Acharya? Anyone? Who is an Acharya? Sachi? No one knows who is an Acharya? So just like how in a school you have a principal or a head teacher, in the same way, to lead any organization, any Jain religious organization, you need a leader. And that leader is known as an Acharya. So we are talking of this Acharya who is not from the current time. So he's not living anymore, but he is from the 10th century, 1088. So at least more than 1,000 years old. And why we are talking about him? Because he was a scholar. He knew so many things, very intelligent and so many things. That's why we're going to talk about him.
Rashmi,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt. There is a background noise which is coming from your end, probably. Some sort of like weird noise which is coming.
I have that too.
Is it still?
It's like some sort of a echo that is going on. Maybe if you have headphones, do you want to use them? Okay, probably you carry on. I mean, like it's manageable.
Headphones.
Maybe when you are clicking the keys of the laptop, that is when we are getting that sound.
I'm trying to share.
It comes like when you're speaking, like when you
Yeah.
like this weird buzz sound.
Okay. Is it okay now? Is that?
No, it's still there, but it's fine. Just carry on.
Okay. Okay. So just before we begin, there's also a few short stories related to the Acharya. I'm just going to read out these few lines. So Acharya Hemchandra was an Indian Jain scholar, a poet, mathematician, a polymath who wrote on grammar, philosophy, prosody, mathematics, and contemporary history. So a lot of new words, don't be frightened. So basically he was a genius. And genius, why? Because he was good in so many subjects. He had knowledge in wide variety. So some of the new words you've come across, let's know about them. What are those words? So who is a polymath? An individual whose knowledge spans a substantial number of subjects and use that knowledge to solve specific problems. So we know that Acharya Hemchandra, he had knowledge in many subjects from philosophy, history, maths, literature. He wrote lots of poems and he used all that knowledge to further solve specific problems. Okay. What is prosody? The patterns of rhythm and many books, and out of that he wrote many poems, and he used his knowledge. Many of them were written in many languages, and in Sanskrit there are some long and short words, and how he used those words. So that is pattern of rhythm and sound he used in poetry. And prodigy. Prodigy is someone, any young person who's accomplished something at a very young age. So if you've accomplished anything, maybe you've skilled musician at a very young age, you'll be known as a prodigy. So right from the beginning, he grasped knowledge. He had a lot of knowledge. He could learn quickly. So that's why he is known as a prodigy. Okay. Does someone want to? I want people to call out their names if they want to read. Does someone want to read just the basic before we begin?
Ryan.
Ryan. Okay, go ahead, Ryan.
Born in 1088, Daksua, India. Parents Chachadev Bahini, sect Simtabad, died in 1173, Patan, India.
Okay. So, you know, Jain religion is divided into two main groups. First is Shwetambar. So this is called Shwetambar, and then other one is Digambar. They both have slightly different rules they follow. They are the same. They have the same, follow the same Tirthankar gods. Everything is same. Just some of the rules and rituals that they do will be different. So he was born in a Jain family, a Shwetambar Jain family. Okay, so let's begin our story. Who would like to read this? Can someone come forward to read it? Anyone? Because I can't see the screen and share at the same time. Prachi, can you help me?
Aura, you can go ahead. Aura have raised her hands.
Okay. So when Aura finishes reading, can someone else put up their hand to just recap that page? So it'll be nice. Someone to read out and someone to recap. That'll be great then. So Aura, you can start.
Acharya Hemchandra was born in 1088 AD into the Modhavanik merchant caste in the town of Danduka, 60 miles from the city Ahmedabad in Gujarat state. His parents were Chanjadev and Pahini. When Pahini was pregnant, she had a beautiful dream of a goddess gifting her gems. She narrated her dream to Acharya Devasuri. The Acharya said that Pahini was to give birth to a gem-like son who would make great progress in the areas of spiritual knowledge and conduct. Upon the birth, the child was named Changdeva.
Who would like to recap this quickly? Anyone?
Ryan.
Ryan. Okay, Ryan. Come on, you can give a recap. Briefly.
So, Acharya
Hemachandra was born in 1088 after Jesus Christ's death. He was born in the town Dunda, 60 miles from the city Ahmedabad, in a Gujarat state. His parents were Chandav and Pahini. Pahini's dream was she was going to get gems by God.
She was not going to give gems. She in a dream she saw gems.
Yeah.
Please participate because there will be a quiz about the story. So I would really like you to listen carefully. And then what did the Acharya say?
Acharya said that Pahini was going to get a son who was like a gem, and he would have great knowledge and he would have lots of success. And the child's name was Chandav.
Changadev. So when he said she would give what it means a gem. Okay, gem-like qualities. Okay. Chandra's mother, both talking to each other. And the next one, you can see the baby boy. That's
Yes, I can see it.
Who's going to go ahead?
Rashmi, your screen is gone off.
Sorry, I think maybe bad Wi-Fi. I'll just
reshare it again.
Reshare it. Okay. Share screen. Okay. Okay, who's going to read? Can you see now? Is that okay? Hello?
Yes, Rashmi, yes. Bacha log, who wants to read? Arna, you want to go ahead, beta? Arna, you're on mute.
Should I read the whole passage?
Yes.
Okay. Changadev began to grow and started going to school. He was very smart and his teachers were proud of him. Right from childhood, he took a deep interest in learning about Jain virtues and took a deep interest in the subject. He expressed a desire to search for truth and God. The next time Acharya Devasuri was in Dhanduka, he saw Pahini with her son. He said to Pahini, "Let me take care of this brilliant son. He is destined to be a great spiritual leader." After much persuasion, she let the Acharya take her.
Okay. Does anyone else want to just recap it quickly? Anyone?
Chaitya have her raised. Chaitya, you want to do it better?
Yeah, sure. Basically, he grows up, goes to school, which is normal. But then he was like really smart, as you said, he's a prodigy, and then he took a deep interest in Jain virtues and stuff like that. So he expressed a desire to search for truth and God. So the Acharya who said that hey, he's going to be a gem-like son, said, "Let me take care of him, and so I can help helping along to his destiny of being a great spiritual leader, and to let him take."
So initially the mother was not keen to let her son go with Devsuri. She didn't want to give him into monkhood. But then later on, she was persuaded by Acharya that he's really brilliant and let me look after him. She let him do so. Okay, let's go ahead. What is wrong today?
Rashmi, it's on the same page. You want to reshare?
Yeah. I don't know what is happening. I don't know why.
Might be just an internet issue.
I'm trying to share the page, but somehow it's not happening. Okay, who wants to go ahead and read the next one? What happens afterwards?
The page is blank. Okay, yeah, it came. That's fine.
Who wants to read out? Ishika? The background.
Ishika, you want to read, beta?
Okay.
Go on.
Acharya initiated Chandeva into monkshood and named him Somchandra. The disciple was very intelligent and soon mastered the darshanas, scriptures, grammar. At the same time, he cultivated excellent virtues like tolerance, holiness, simplicity, and discipline. Somachandra was incomparable in administration and efficiency. Acharya Devasuri made Somachandra an Acharya when he was only 21 years old. At that time, he was given the name Hemachandra Acharya.
Very good, Ishika. Do anybody, you want somebody to explain it, Rashmi?
Yeah. Just to recap. So, because then there's a quiz afterwards, so they'll pay attention.
Okay, perfect.
Anybody wants to say?
Rachit, Betu, you want to tell what was there in the para?
Yes.
Yes, go on, Betu.
So shall I recap it?
Yes, like what did she read? What did Ishika read? What was it about?
So what was it about? So Acharya initiated Chandadev into monkhood and named him Somachandra. The disciple was very intelligent and soon mastered the darshan, scriptures, grammar, etc. At the same time, he cultivated excellent virtues. Somchandra was incomparable in administration and efficiency. Acharya Dev Suri made Somchandra an Acharya when he was only 21 years old. At that time, he was given the name Hemchandra Acharya.
Yeah, so at a very young age, he took the whole burden of running the organization. He was so efficient that Dev Suri decided and made him Acharya, head of the whole Jain congregation at that time. Okay, let's move on. Who's going to read next? Sachi, would you like to read?
Sachi is on a device where she can't talk, then she'll have to talk from my device. Okay, yeah, she can talk now. Go on, Sachi.
At the time, Gujarat was flourished under the rule of King Siddharaja. After King Siddharaja, he was succeeded by his nephew Kumarpal. In 1125, Acharya Hemchandra became the
Sorry, did something happen?
Pala. He was predicted 7 years earlier that Kumarpal would be king. Also, the Acharya had once saved Kumarpal's life.
Rashmi, you have changed the page.
Yeah, sorry. I'm having really internet issues right now. Just switch page. This one. Yeah.
Yes, Sachi, go on.
Yeah.
Therefore, Kumarpal considered Hemchandra.
Okay.
Where were you? Therefore, Kumarpal considered Hemchandra his spiritual teacher.
Guru. Kumarpal gave him the exceptional honor and sought his advice in the shaping of his kingdom in Gujarat. In a very short time, Gujarat became a center of non-violence, learning, and good culture.
Okay, so what do we know from this? That besides being an Acharya, besides being the head, he also was advisor to whom? King Kumarpal. And why did Kumarpal trust Acharya? Because there's a small story. Yes, Chaitya? You want to say something?
First he predicted that Kumarpal would be the king, so he's like, hey, he likes me. He also, because he also saved his life once. If you don't trust someone who saved your life, the like.
Yeah, as a result, because he was advising King, Gujarat, the state of the kingdom of Gujarat was really doing well because there was less, no non-violence and learning. There was a lot of learning, good culture. So that's why that kingdom was flourishing. Okay, we'll go next. There's another story related to Acharya.
Dhruv, you want to read better?
Yes, Auntie. Some Brahmins were very jealous about him, Chandra Racharya, and they
Acharya. Let's say it again. Acharya. Acharya.
Acharya, and they were trying to disgrace him. Therefore, some Brahmins approached King Kumarpal and said, Hemchandra Acharya is very egoistic person, and he does not respect Hindu gods. King Kumarpal was not ready to accept these views about his spiritual teacher. Brahmins requested King Kumarpal that he should invite Hemchandra Charya to come to the temple of Lord Shiva. The purpose of this was to humiliate Hemchandracharya because they thought he would not go to the temple of Lord Shiva and bow down to him.
Okay, so what do we know? That because Acharya was very close to the king and he was an advisor in the day-to-day running, other Brahmins were very jealous and they wanted to put him down. And that's why they decided to, what they decided that they planned something that, let's.
Ryan, they plan to humiliate Hemchandra Acharya.
Yeah, okay. And they wanted to invite him to Lord Shiva temple. Now, why Lord Shiva temple? What would happen? Because they knew Acharya was a Jain follower.
He wouldn't bow down to him.
Yes, they thought maybe he'll not bow down. Let's see what happens. Acharya was also a genius. He would not be tricked. So let's see. Who's going to read?
Arik or Ashi, anybody wants to go ahead with reading?
Can I read?
Yes, go on, Leher.
To the surprise of those Brahmins, Acharya bowed down in front of Lord Shiv, but by saying,
Can I read that bit? Leher?
yeah,
Pur Rajana Ragadya.
for Rajana Ragadya. Can you read me to yes, yeah, because it's very long.
Shyamupagatashtaya Brahma va Vishnuvar Haro Jino va Namastasmai. So, what
Meaning, I am bowing down to that God who has destroyed the passion like attachment, rag, and hatred, devs, which are the cause of worldly life, whether he is Brahma, Vishnu, or Jina. This showed that indeed the Acharya was genius and had a broad mind, attitude,
based on basic Jain principles.
So what do we know of him? That even though he was a Jain, he didn't mind going to the temple. There's no harm. And very smartly, he gave a good answer that I'm bowing down to all those who have destroyed the passions. You know our Jinn Bhagwan, our
No.
Jinnah. Yes? Did someone call out? Who's Jinnah? Someone who's got rid of all the
8 karmas.
of all their karmas and who's attained moksha, who have renounced the cycle of life and death. So he's bowing down to all those people. So whether they are Brahma or Vishnu or Jinn are a Jinn. So he didn't mind anyone. So basically, all those people who have destroyed the passions, you know. So all of us, why we are born as humans? Because we have not yet got rid of our karmas, of all our passions, your anger, hatred, jealousy, all those. And that's why we keep being born again and again in a cycle, sometimes as humans, sometimes as a tree or animal or any other form, unless you attain moksha. So this way we know that he was really very smart. Okay. And there's another story related with Acharya. Who's going to read next?
Chaitya?
I would just ask, where's the temple in the previous picture?
Which temple are you talking about?
On the previous slide.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Where is this place?
Yeah, where is it?
So this is in Gujarat because we are talking about Gujarat kingdom.
Okay.
This may not necessarily be from Gujarat because I had to take my own. I had to symbolize with Lord Shiva. So this actually is not from Gujarat. But yes, the temples we are talking about will be from Gujarat.
As in, like, where exactly is that particular statue?
This one, I really don't know. I had Googled it, Chaitya.
Oh, great.
But there are some pictures which I'll show ahead. Okay, let's read on. Who's going to read?
Ryan.
Okay, Ryan.
One day, Kumar Pal.
Right? Ryan, you got a turn the first time you read, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can someone else please read?
Should I read?
Yeah. Can I read?
Yes, Kshitij, go on. And then Riddhi, I'll give you turn, beta. Kshitij, go on, beta.
Okay. One day, Kumar Pal came to Acharya Shri for his blessing. He was troubled by one situation. He was using his wealth for good causes, like doing repair work for a big temple. 2 years had passed, but the repair work was taking very long. Kumar Pal was worried and wanted to know what he could do so that the repair work would get over soon. He explained his situation to Acharya Shri, who advised him if he took a vow, repair work of the temple would be completed quickly. He asked Kumar Pal to take the vow of renouncing meat and alcohol as long as the construction is not completed. Kumar Pal joined his palms and took the vow. He started observing his vow very religiously and with full faith. After a few days, the repair work of the temple got completed.
So what do we understand from this? The power of non-violence. When you follow a good path, automatically all good comes to you, isn't it? So even now, King Kumar Pal, he too started following Jain religion religiously. Who wants to go ahead now?
Riddhi.
Okay, Riddhi.
Kumar Pal was very happy. He realized the importance of taking a vow. Under Acharya's influence, King Kumar Pal accepted Jainism. He made many laws that nurtured the Jain religion and made Jain religion the official religion of Gujarat and forbade violence and killing of any animal in his kingdom. In a very short time, Gujarat became a center of non-violence, learning and good culture.
Very good. And so what do you see in this picture? In this picture, we can see that there's a cross on all these things. So all these bad vices, gambling and killing of animals and birds for food, and cheating and theft and robbery, all this stopped under Kumar Pal when he started influencing, when he started putting, all the laws he made. He banned all killing of animals and all that. So Gujarat really started to prosper as a state. It was doing very well. I think my screen again. Again, I have to bring back my screen. Sorry, guys. Who's going to read next now?
Can I read?
Yes, please.
Gia.
Gia, go ahead, Gia. I'm just I'm on the right one. Yeah, I am on the right one.
Shall I read?
Yes, please. Yes.
Hemchandar was an elder.
Sorry. I was trying to a minute.
Rusty Auntie, try getting rid of animations. That might be doing something.
Maybe. Okay, no problem. Go ahead, read better.
But you're not screenshotting.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Can everyone see now?
Yeah. Shall I read the screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. Hemchandar was an eloquent religious teacher, skillful political advisor, and a scholar of the highest standing. He wrote books on Sanskrit and Prakrit, grammar, science, and Indian philosophy, and several poems. His works have become classics, setting high standards for Sanskrit learning. People called him Kalikala Sarvajna, meaning all knower in the dark period. His book Trishakti.
Okay, let me read. Trishashti Shalaka Purush Charita. So, deeds of the 63 illustrious men in Sanskrit. So, this book has now been translated into English by Finns and published by Oxford University Press. So, imagine a book written in 10th century, thousands of years ago. We still can read that book. We can access that book because somebody from Oxford University has published it. So something to really feel proud about, that he's done such amazing work and we can still read about it if we want to. And because as you can see, there were so many things he did. He was not only a religious teacher, he was very well spoken. He was a skillful political advisor because he advised in the day-to-day running of the kingdom. He was a scholar. He wrote books in various languages. So that's why even a lot of, when I did research on Acharya, I could, I even saw other universities as well. St. Andrews from Scotland, even they have published, even Cambridge and also. Something really we should be proud about. And we're just coming. Okay, who wants to read this next one?
Rashmi, it's not visible clearly. Is it? It's cut half, like you can't see the first line there.
Is it good now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gone.
Okay.
It's there.
Who's going to read that? We're just going to sum it up quickly now.
Did I?
Yes, go on, Dhruv.
Okay. He died in 1173 AD at the age of 84. He announced about his death 6 months in advance and fasted in his last days. A Jain practice called Salikana.
Salekna. If any one of you have known about this concept, so he was so knowledgeable. He knew about his death even 6 months before, and then he started fasting. So it was a voluntary fast. He knew his days have come, and he wanted to get liberated, wanted to attain moksha, and he thought the best way is let me do this salekna, and he gave up food in his last days of his life. And this is the picture of the temple. Can you see the top one? Taranga temple. Anybody wants to read out?
Ryan.
Oh, Ryan, anybody else? Because Ryan, you've had a turn. If we don't have anybody else, you can go ahead. Anyone else?
It's okay, let Ryan go.
Okay.
Because he's been raising hand with every. Go on, Beta.
I love your enthusiasm, Ryan.
Bless him. Go on, Ryan.
King Kurupal built many temples under the guidance of Acharya Hemachandra. One of the temples is Taraganga, a Jain pilgrim center in Gujarat, India. Hemachandra, the tradition of animal sacrifice in the name of religion, was completely uprooted in Gujarat. As a result, even almost 900 years after Hemachandra, Gujarat still continues to be a predominantly lacto-vegetarian state, despite having an extensive coastline.
Yes, so if you still ever you get a chance to go to Gujarat in India, the western part, there is this temple is still existing. It's called the Tarang temple. And as a result of King Kumarpal, even today, predominantly, you still have people who follow a vegetarian diet over there, predominantly vegetarian, lactose. So they may have milk and milk products, but otherwise they don't consume meat and all. Okay, so quiz time. Let's see who's been listening very carefully. Okay. Okay. So what is the first question? Who wants to read out? Who wants to read out the first question? Dhruv, can you
Mudita, go ahead.
Okay, there's no background noise from Dhruv. Can you please mute yourself?
Mudita Betu, can you read loudly? We can't hear you.
What did Acharya Hemchandra's mother dream of when she was pregnant with him?
Can you tell us the answer, Beta?
Gems.
Okay, gems. That is the correct answer. Who wants to go ahead with the second question?
Can Jia say?
Yes, Jia.
Acharya Devansuri said that Acharya Hemachandra would grow up to be.
You can read the options.
A great spiritual leader, a great king, a great minister, or a great merchant.
And what did he become? What's the right answer?
A spiritual leader.
Yes.
Very good, dear.
I told you, Acharya means head of the Jain congregation. So a spiritual leader is known as Acharya. Very good. That's Acharya Hemchandra. Who's going to read the next one?
Kavya, you want to read the next one?
Okay, but I wasn't there in the beginning, so I'm not
It's okay.
sure.
Everybody will help you with the answers. No worries. Go on, Beta.
Acharya Hemachandra became Acharya at the age of...
Who wants to help here, Kavya?
Ryan.
Yes, Ryan, go on, Beta.
21 years old.
Brilliant. You are correct. And who's going to read the next one?
Arham, you want to read the next one?
Yes. King Kumarpal was the king of Gujarat.
Very good. You didn't even give the options. Yes, Gujarat, not Goa. So this is a map of Gujarat, map of India, the western part. You can see the state of Gujarat.
ये तो बोला था.
Sorry. Okay, who's going to read the next one?
Sneha, will you read, beta?
Yeah.
Sneha, you want to read?
Yeah, sure. To humiliate Acharya Hemchandra, the Brahmins invited him to a Lord Shiva temple.
Correct. So it was Lord Shiva temple. Very good.
Bacha, who's K?
It's me, Chris.
Yeah, gone, Kara.
Who's going to read?
I can read
Kara,
it.
you have
Can
your
I
hand
read?
raised. Riddhi, 1
Can
minute, wait, I'll
Riddhi
give the
read?
turn.
One
Let
second.
Kara
I do
read.
not understand. Who was the first one who?
Kara, we have his hand raised. So let's go ahead.
Go ahead, Kara.
It's Chris, not Kara.
It's Krish. Okay.
Oh, Chris, sorry, wait, it was K. Sorry, go on.
Acharya Hemchandra asked King Kumarpal to renounce meat and alcohol.
That was the correct answer. Okay. And so what do we learn from the story of Acharya and King Kumarpal's story? What do we know? Anyone wants to recap? Other than Ryan, I can see Ryan's hand throughout the whole session. Anybody else? Okay, Ryan, go ahead.
Oh, we learned that you should help other people.
Okay, yes. What else?
And have non-violence.
Non-violence, very good. The concept of non-violence, not hurting anybody. Anybody else who wants to say something about this story? Or of what you learned from the life of Acharya? I can't see if there are any hands. Anybody else wants to say anything? Or anyone wants to read out this last bit? Okay, I'm going to.
Can I?
Okay, yes.
Only by renunciation of all things negative and promotion of a non-violent life can a person be free from all vices and have a peaceful, positive, and blissful life.
Can you make it simpler and explain everybody? What are you going to take from it?
So I think it means that that what we can do is if we stop doing things that are negative and follow non-violence, we can have a good life. But if we do follow non-violence, if we don't follow non-violence, our life will always have problems. So that's why if we do positive things and we have good karma, we can have a good peaceful life.
Very good, Aura. And also the most important, what's our goal as Jains? Our main goal is ultimate liberation from this cycle of being born and death, life and death. So the only way is to lead a very, very karma-free life. Try and reduce our karmas as far as possible and avoid all non-violence.
We all want to go to moksha.
We all want moksha, liberation.
Yeah, Rashmi auntie.
Yes.
What about games like kabaddi and rugby, which are like violent, like not violent, but like they're pretty not very non-violent games?
No, but you're playing game not with the intent of hurting anyone, right? It's about the intention. You're just enjoying game. You know, game also you enjoy for fun also. Of course, at times you may get hurt, but that's not the intention. But if you're playing with that intention that today I'm going to physically hurt him, then yes, then you're definitely, you are gaining karma. But if your intention is just to have good fun, then that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so I've really taken a lot of time, and thank you all for listening. Hope you all take something out of this story. And one more thing, if you go to JVB London website and you click on Gyanshala, you can always revert back to this story. This story is there in the Darshan PDF book, though in much less detail. I've added a few more stories in it. But for any of our concepts, you can go back and read on Darshan group. The PDF is available on JVB London website. Yeah, both for Gyan and Darshan. So thank you all, and over to you, Prachi.
Oh, Maram Bacha Lok, Chaitya, just to your answer earlier with the picture, it's a Marudeshwar temple of Shiva in Karnataka. It's a state in south of India.
Okay, thanks.
And it's one of most prominent place for Lord Shiva's visit. Okay, kids, now we have learned about Acharya Hemchandraji, but we were not, I don't know whether we were so blessed to have his teachings or preachings we could hear. But now, at our present life, we are so blessed because we have our Acharya Mahashramanji, right? And you know what he have accomplished? Something really big. Now, if Shiksha, you can play the YouTube video, that would be great, and then I can talk about it to kids.
आज के भौतिक संसाधनों से भरपूर युग में जहां यातायात के इतने साधन हैं, व्यवस्थाएं हैं, वहां भारतीय ऋषि परंपरा को जीवित रखते हुए महान परिव्राजक आचार्य श्री महाश्रमण जी जनोपकार के लिए निरंतर पदयात्रा कर रहे हैं। देश की राजधानी दिल्ली के लाल किले से सन 2014 में अहिंसा यात्रा का प्रारंभ करने वाले आचार्य श्री ने न केवल भारत अपितु नेपाल, भूटान जैसे देशों में भी मानवता के उत्थान का महत्वपूर्ण कार्य किया है। आचार्य श्री देश के राष्ट्रपति भवन से लेकर गांवों की झोपड़ी तक शांति का संदेश देने का कार्य कर रहे हैं। आचार्य श्री की प्रेरणा से हर जाति, धर्म, वर्ग के लाखों लोगों ने इस सुदीर्घ अहिंसा यात्रा में सद्भावना, नैतिकता और नशा मुक्ति के संकल्पों को स्वीकार किया है। अहिंसा यात्रा के प्रारंभ से पूर्व भी सुप्रसिद्ध जैन आचार्य श्री महाश्रमण जी ने स्व पर कल्याण के उद्देश्य से करीब 34,000 किलोमीटर का पैदल सफर कर लिया था। 12 वर्ष की अल्प आयु में अणुव्रत प्रवर्तक आचार्य श्री तुलसी के शिष्य के रूप में दीक्षित तथा प्रेक्षा प्रणेता आचार्य श्री महाप्रज्ञ जी के उत्तराधिकारी के रूप में प्रतिष्ठित आचार्य श्री महाश्रमण ने अब तक भारत के दिल्ली, उत्तर प्रदेश, हरियाणा, पंजाब, गुजरात, राजस्थान, मध्य प्रदेश, बिहार, असम, नागालैंड, मेघालय, पश्चिम बंगाल, झारखंड, उड़ीसा, तमिलनाडु, कर्नाटक, केरल, पौंडीचेरी, आंध्र प्रदेश, तेलंगाना, महाराष्ट्र एवं छत्तीसगढ़ राज्य तथा नेपाल व भूटान की पदयात्रा कर लोगों को सदाचार की राह पर चलने के लिए प्रेरित किया है। यात्रा के दौरान कई धर्म गुरुओं ने आचार्य श्री से मिलकर उनके जन कल्याणकारी अभियान के प्रति समर्थन प्रस्तुत किया। वहीं राष्ट्रपति श्री रामनाथ कोविंद, प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी, पूर्व राष्ट्रपति श्री एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम, श्री प्रणब मुखर्जी, श्रीमती प्रतिभा पाटिल, नेपाल के प्रधानमंत्री श्री केपी शर्मा ओली, पूर्व राष्ट्रपति श्री रामवरण यादव, पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री श्री सुशील कोइराला, श्री मोहन भागवत, श्री अमित शाह, श्री लाल कृष्ण आडवाणी, श्री पीयूष गोयल, श्री राजनाथ सिंह, श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी, श्री राहुल गांधी, श्री पी चिदम्बरम आदि अनेक राजनेता भी आचार्य श्री के सानिध्य में पहुंचे और उनके द्वारा किए जा रहे समाज उत्थान के महत्वपूर्ण कार्यों में अपनी भी संभागिता दर्ज कराई। इसके साथ साथ ही श्री नीतीश कुमार, श्री अशोक गहलोत, श्री नवीन पटनायक, श्री सर्वानंद सोनोवाल, सुश्री ममता बनर्जी, श्री येदियुरप्पा, श्री पलानी स्वामी आदि कई मुख्यमंत्रियों व राज्यपालों सहित कई विशिष्ट लोगों ने भी अहिंसा यात्रा में अपनी सहभागिता की। आचार्य श्री महाश्रमण जी अपनी पदयात्राओं के दौरान प्रतिदिन 15 से 20 किलोमीटर का सफर तय कर लेते हैं। जैन साधु की कठोर दिनचर्या का पालन और प्रातः 4 बजे उठकर घंटों तक जप ध्यान की साधना में लीन रहने वाले आचार्य श्री प्रतिदिन प्रवचन के माध्यम से भी जनता को संबोधित करते हैं। 28 जनवरी 2021 अहिंसा यात्रा के प्रणेता तेरापंथ धर्म संघ के 11वें अधिशास्ता आचार्य श्री महाश्रमण जी ने आज अपने पावन कदमों से पदयात्रा करते हुए 50,000 किलोमीटर के आंकड़े को पार कर एक नए इतिहास का सृजन कर लिया। आंकड़ों पर गौर करें तो ये पदयात्रा राष्ट्रपिता महात्मा गांधी की दांडी यात्रा से 125 गुना ज्यादा बड़ी और पृथ्वी की परिधि से 1.25 गुना अधिक है। यदि कोई व्यक्ति इतनी पदयात्रा करे तो वह भारत के उत्तरी छोर से दक्षिणी छोर अथवा पूर्वी छोर से पश्चिमी छोर तक की 15 बार से ज्यादा यात्रा कर सकता है। आचार्य श्री महाश्रमण ने 50,000 किलोमीटर की पदयात्रा कर रचा एक इतिहास।
So we have seen this short clip, bachcha log. I don't know how many people, how many of you understood the Hindi version of it. But in short, what I wanted to say, how proud we should be. Such a historic moment for us as Jains, where our gurus are walking barefoot all around India, covering Nepal and Bhutan, to spread the message of peace, non-violence, the message of being one. It's such a great, and can you imagine how much round, if you go whole round the earth, do you know how many kilometers is that? Approximately 40,075 kilometers is if you go all round the earth. And he have covered that within India, Nepal and Bhutan. So how much did he did his journey? He have went to small towns, met people in small areas, in slum areas, just to spread that message of peace. And we are born in that culture, how blessed we are. So I always tell you, bachalo, that think about small little things, what our guru does and how we can follow their footstep. Definitely we can't do as big as he have done, but even in that big ocean, that one drop counts. I really want you all to be that one drop. Sometimes when mummy tells go for a walk, we can't even do walk for our own self. And our Acharya Shriji is working for the message of peace, to spread Jainism. It is Acharya Tulsi's vision that we have Shramni Ji's here. How blessed we are. We get their blessing. We get to learn so many things. So I think we should carry on this ahead. And even you are learning, spread that to your friends. Small little message of non-violence, of eating vegetarian can help to put a bit of drops in this ocean. So keep spreading and be a proud Jain, as we all are, and a happy and a proud Jain. So I'll pass on to Vikas uncle. I'm so sorry, we might run a bit of overtime, and I have few announcements to make up after Vikas uncle finish. Yes, Vikas, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Prachi. So, Jai Jain to all kids. I'll just say a few things and ask the questions to you. This is basically related to how the things we are perceived, right, in the whole world or in the universe. So we are coming across two types of thing in the universe. One is the natural thing, and one is the artificial thing, right, which has been made by the man. So I just want to ask few questions. Maybe let me know who can give me the answer for that. Is that fine? So my first question is why the ocean water is restricted to some area and it doesn't came out like a, why it is restricted to that area? Anybody can answer? Or if I will ask you that why sun rises from the east Anyone has a question? Anyone has an answer on that?
It's possible because he doesn't have a passport, so he's allowed to go through the open borders like Nepal and Bhutan, but since he's not allowed to have a passport, he wouldn't be able to go to places like Pakistan and China.
Sorry, Chaitya, I didn't get your question, beta.
I thought the question was why could he only be in India, Nepal, and Bhutan?
Because beta, we have lots of Terapan Samaj in Nepal and Bhutan, and yes, he got the special permission. And if you have seen in that video, lots of Nepal big ministers came to visit him, and they wanted him to come there, so they have made a special arrangements for him to come there, and he did go on his footsteps.
Because he's not allowed to have a passport, is he?
No, but I don't know what provision they made there. But yes, there might be some provisions where they have kept even exceptions. Him and some other gurus, he went together with him. I'm not very sure about that whole description. We can ask Vandami about it.
Yes, I am available.
Yes, Vandami Namsami Sandiji.
So what was the question, Prachi? Can you repeat for one minute?
Chaitya is asking Vandami, is Acharya Shriji allowed to have a passport to go to Nepal and Bhutan?
Oh no, this is special invitation of the government of Nepal that you are working for peace, for de-addiction and awareness of non-violence. So our country needs utmost. So please do come and our officials will take care of everything. So monks and nuns don't have passport. But you know, it is amazing when earthquake happened, then it was an urgency. So government of India requested Acharya Shri, we will send you a charter plane and come by plane. And the Indian government issued passport for all monks and nuns. But Gurudev said, no, I'm here for our neighbors, and whatever happened to neighbors, we are with them. So I don't want to come by aeroplane as a monastic rule. We don't want to use that. And also for the peace and strength, we are a pillar of strength for the Nepali people. So we will stay here. And he did his whole yatra according to his own plan. Any question?
Chaitya, is your question answered?
So he doesn't have a passport, but like the governments have made special arrangements for monks and nuns and stuff.
Yes.
Around, basically.
But after that earthquake, now we have those monks and nuns. They were in Nepal. They have passport.
Okay.
So Vikas Uncle's question was there two things, why the ocean water is limited at one place, and the second question was why does the sun rises only from east? Can somebody answer this?
Can I say, Auntie?
Right. Yes, Dhruv, go on.
Because the Earth rotates, its rotational way is from the east, so that's why I think that's why the sun sets at east and rises from
east
and west.
Yeah. So what I need to emphasize is they are basically following some rules which we may know, we may not know. Right. So I want to emphasize that all the things in the universe are following some rules. We might be aware, we might not be aware. So the further question I want to ask that, are we following any rules in our life to make our life happy? So if I need to talk from the religion perspective, are we having any vows on a daily basis which we are practicing it? Now, in the previous sessions, we have learned a lot of things. Now, if I'll ask another question, that how many types or what are the types exist to achieve salvation, to achieve moksha? So we have 4 types: Samyak Gyan, Samyak Darshan, Samyak Charit, and Samyak Tap. So we are indulged in Samyak Gyan and Samyak Darshan Now, there is a point to be following some practice in our life or following a conduct in our life. So I want to start, or I just want to explain this support that if we try to follow the rules on a daily basis, will make our life easier. So I want to take the first rule today, that every time, at least to the Jain peoples or Jain surroundings, instead of saying hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon, I will say only Jai Jinin. Now, if you remember that in the Bhaktamar also, when Acharya Mantung composed those stanzas, in one of the stanza he mentioned that reciting your name itself will help to kill all our sins. So if we recite Jai Jinin, which is a Jinin which we call as the Jinas who are detached from the Rag and Dvesh, detached from the attachment, all passion. So if we recite their names on a daily basis, it will help in our life. So I want to take a vow and ask others also to take a vow that from today onwards, I will say Jai Jinin to all, rather than saying good morning, good afternoon. So can you raise your
Very
hand?
good, Vikas uncle. I want everybody to raise a hand with the icon, reaction icon. So all the kids, please raise your hands. It is something really good and we can do it. Just addressing everybody by saying Jai Jinendra.
If everyone can have the video on and just give a wave and say that you agree to take the vow of saying Jai Jinendra.
So I will try to bring up all the small things which we can do on a daily basis, on a weekly session. Today, I want to just start it from Jai Jinin to all, rather than saying good morning, good afternoon, or hello, hi, how are you? In the call, even if I'm picking up the call, like if I'm calling to teacher, if I'm calling to kids, if I'm calling to Samniji, I will say either Om Aram or Jai Jinin.
Hello, hi, chodiye, Jai Jinendra boliye.
Right. So let's say we will say Jai Jinin.
Jai Jinin.
All agreed? Taking vows. And even you can say to your parents as well, or the neighbors also, those who are coming across to you, to your elders, to your parents, to your all relatives. Then, hi, hello, chodiye, Jai Jinendra boliye. Even
Can
teachers
everybody
also.
unmute themselves and say aloud Jai Jinendra? Let's have this. It will be fun.
Jai
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Very good. The movement have started today, Vikas. I hope the kids and we carry on with that. Very good. Jai Jinendra, Vikas. So, Bacha log, today we have something exciting in the evening. That is spiritual harmony. It is a spiritual way of wishing everybody in JVP their happy birthday or sharing their success stories or wishing them anniversaries. So please tune in. It is so nice to wish our loved ones, dear ones, and people whom we know. So it is good. So everybody, please join into the spiritual harmony. And we also had something to ask. Who have storybooks, Jain storybooks at their house? Who have
Ryan.
Ryan has it. Arna has it. Do everyone have it?
and Kushi have it.
Very good. So now, next week, we want Kushi because she's the youngest one here. After Kushi will be Arham and then Jia. So what we want is, Kushi, you have to read a Jain book, a story book. Bring that book in our next lecture and talk a summary about that book. Okay?
Auntie, I normally read for Kushi. Kushi doesn't read, like she doesn't know how to read everything.
Okay, Dhruv, let you read to her and let her explain what she understood from that story.
Okay, huh?
Yeah? Perfect. So next week we're gonna listen from Kushi what's the message she got or what was the moral of that story. Okay? Sounds exciting. So everybody start looking through the books, the Jain books, ask mummy, daddy, go to Gyanshala, go to JVP, ask Vandami to give you one out, so she can give you one out. There are lots in our library, but do return them back. But please, we want everybody to read one stories every week as we progress.
Can I read a story?
Of course you can, but you have to tell the summary. Not now. We will go as age-wise who are little in this Darshan group, and as we'll progress. Okay?
So, Prachi, I would suggest maybe in the next class, in the next session, I was about to take that all kids should have the 15 minutes reading religious book. And maybe we can ask one of them every session to come up and what they have learned.
Perfect, Vikas. Let's start it from today. Addition to your Jai Chinendra.
Yeah.
What if you don't have said religious books?
Sorry, Chaitya?
What if you don't have religious books, and what about saying Jai Chinendra to people who have no idea what it means and think you're just going to be talking absolute nonsense?
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I don't have any religious book.
Okay, no worries. We will share some links if you can go. There are lots of links around where you can find. But it is always good to have some books. Ask mummy or daddy if they're around. They can collect some from Gyanshala, or they might have. You might have no knowledge about it. Ask them. Even if it is in Hindi and English, they can read and you can translate to us. Okay.
Also, children, I just wanted to add, you don't have to have a book. You can always Google on some Jane stories, anything that you want to share, and you can recap it.
And Chaitya, to your answer that if I wish somebody, you remember when we were in India, we never used to understand what's the meaning of hello, hi, if we are Hindu, right? But we still learned it. So it's okay if you tell somebody this is our way of greeting you, Jai Jinendra. It's absolutely fine. If you're proud of something, it's good to show off. So be proud of being Jain and show off. It's absolutely fine. Once, if we are together, we meet somebody, I'll definitely, in front of you, I'll wish somebody Jai Jinen who don't understand the meaning of Jai Jinen. But if we spread the message, it goes around.
Even if we are going into the foreign country, they are saying in their own words. We are not understand, but we still respect that, right? We are not disrespecting and we are not ignoring that. Even if you're going in the Europe side, Germany side, they will say in their words to the Guten Morgen. And even if you don't understand, from your gesture, they will understand that, okay, what you're trying to say. So if you just fold your hand, say Jai Jinin, when you face-to-face meet, then they will understand, okay, you're greeting it. But if you're saying just on a phone and something, then maybe you can explain them, this is our way of greeting, the Jain way of greeting the people.
Has Vikas uncle said, when you say the word Jai Jinendra, you know what? If you're at home and mummy talks about a jelly or a cake, how things your feelings change towards it. Wow, cake. So if you keep telling Jai Jinendra, that feeling of positivity will inculcate in you. The teachings of our jinnas will inculcate in you. So please keep doing it, beta log. If you start now, you never know, this will be a revolutionary movement. Start doing Jai Jinendra. Any more, Vandami? Any more?
I have one question about the stories. Is the story like have to include like monks, or can it just be like a life lesson learned?
Life lessons. If you ask Dhruv, your mummy would have lots of Jain stories where you could learn about how a bad thief turned into a good person or anything like that. That has a good Jain values and morals. How our mantras can make difference in people's life.
Okay.
And just to add, probably if you like, you can also write a book review if you are reading something. You can start rating some of the Jain books. That would really also help us.
Shiksha, if you have a page which you want to share, can you share it?
Yes, I'll share it over the Gyanshala group. It would give sort of like a heads up to all the children how we are thinking about it.
Okay, perfect. And Vandami, are you there? If you could give the Manglik.
Prachi also.
Vandami is there.
Prachi,
yes, Rashmi.
Just inform children about half-term activity as well.
Yes, Bacha Log. So we have lots of activity, amazing, two good activities, full of fun, filled activities in the half term of February. We will update that on Gyanshala group. Ask your mummies, if you're not registered, you won't get you won't be included in it. It's very important that you get registered, kids, for anything. If we want to give you something or anything, the registration is the key. Please register yourself. More details will be followed in the Gyanshala group in the nearer time. So please do that. I don't think so Vikas Vandami ji is here. She might be somewhere around. If you could recite the Manglik for us, please.
Yeah, sure. Everybody can fold your hands, join your hands. गुरुदेव की आज्ञा से, बड़े शराफत की आज्ञा से। तत्तारि मंगलम अर्यंता मंगलम सिद्धा मंगलम साहू मंगलम केवली पनतो धम्मो मंगलम। सत्तारि लोकत्मा अर्यंता लोकत्मा सिद्धा लोकत्मा साहू लोकत्मा केवली पनतो धम्मो लोकत्मो। चत्तारि शरणं पवज्जामि अर्यन्ते शरणं पवज्जामि सिद्धे शरणं पवज्जामि साहू शरणं पवज्जामि केवली पनतं धम्मं शरणं पवज्जामि। अर्यंता का शरणा, सिद्धा जी का शरणा, साधु जी का शरणा, केवली परुविद्या धर्म का शरणा। चार शरणा, दुख हरना, सुख करना, मंगल करना और न शरणा कोई होगा। जो भव्य प्राणी करे आराधन, उसका अजर अमर पद होगा, उसका अजर अमर पद होगा। अंगुष्ठे अमृत बसे लब्धि तना भंडार, श्री गुरु गौतम समरिये मनवांचित फलदाता, मनवांचित फलदाता। बोले शासनपति शमन भगवान महावीर स्वामी की
जय
जय जय
और से बोलिए
की जय हो।
जय
जय।
सब प्यारे प्यारे बच्चे लोगों की जय हो। ओम हरा, जय जिनेन्द्र बच्चा लोग।
Jai Jinendra. See you all next Saturday.